Yo, what is up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Records and Rants. My name is Ice, and with me, as always, is Dixon. How are you?
Ice, great to be back. It's been a minute. You were a little bit under the weather.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. I came down with something. We don't know what it is. We're still unsure. Doctors haven't been able to determine it, but I had, some may say sinus infection, but I'm recovering. Some may say I'm rather heroically recovering from this, but I don't know. I'm just saying. I came back, and now I'm feeling okay.
Feeling better. Yeah, I feel better. Everybody's saying it. Nobody's seen somebody deal with something like this before, so great job.
Never. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't think it's ever happened before. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, we have a lot to talk about on the show today, and one of the big things that everyone's talking about, we're gonna get to later in the show, is the whole Kanye West debacle. I mean, he has gone off the deep end, Dixon. I don't even know anymore. There's so much to say, though. There really is, and I have a lot to say about it. I just don't know. I don't know even what to say about the whole thing, about everything that's been happening. I don't know. I know. People are looking at this guy and they're like, "This is the guy that gave us Graduation, the album Graduation." Yeah, now he's saying this kind of stuff. It's truly bewildering. I mean, there's many ways you could take it as far as what he's doing it or why he's doing it, but I mean, as far as what he has said, it's pretty blatant and out there. And I think he's lost a lot of people, but I also think it has some massive repercussions for people who follow him and people who indulge in his ideas. So I don't know. I think we're going to see a big wave of something coming on here.
Oof.
Yeah,
I'm nervous
that's
yeah,
it's definitely a big oof, definitely. But yeah, I know. Before we get to that, we had Record Store Day.
We sure did.
Yeah. What day was that? I should know because I was the one that went out for this. I can't remember what day it was.
That's where you got your RSV. That was,
oh my God! That might be it. I might the dirty people in the record store.
All those dirty people in the record store. That was Black Friday. Black Friday, the Black Friday edition of Record Store Day.
Oh, and, yes.
I was unable to attend, and the release list seemed like it was pretty solid, I think. However, the one that I was really interested in was Brian Wilson, Long Promised Road.
Yeah.
And this was released on a blue swirl vinyl. And it also came in black. And the record store that we frequent, that we grew up right by, they put the identification of the record on the label, on this price tag. It'll be like whatever, Ice and Dixon Greatest Hits, blue, whatever it might be. Right. This one said red, so I don't know if it's going to be. I wasn't planning on opening it. I really wasn't. I don't know if it's going to be a regular release or what, but Ice, you went out and you picked it up for me, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I was very happy to do that. You know, me and my fiance, we picked up some Christmas records. You know, the Jackson 5 Christmas. Yeah, it was.
Trash.
All right, okay. I don't know, Dixon. We just Christmas, okay?
that mommy kissing Santa Claus by the Jackson 5. It might be the most annoying song of all time. Real high pitched Michael Jackson in the beginning.
Oh my God, that's so funny because when we were listening to it, we were putting up decorations and put up the tree. I'm like, this is kind of annoying. Like you're really going all in on this. It's like, can you just calm down and just sing the friggin' song? It's not that hard.
It's true. It's amazing, and it's I'm glad you got some stuff for your collection, which is good. That was such a good used selection there. And the most important fact was when you had showed up. That was the last copy that you grabbed for me of the Long Promised Road, which was good. Yeah,
they said it was the last one. Now, the way that they did it, I'm sure probably all record stores do this, but they had it in a box that said, Record Store Day albums, I guess, or records on it, and It was all the way in the back. They had it like, I thought it was going to be up front, and so I was looking looking all over the creation. I'm like, I'm just going to friggin' ask, because I'm sure these guys that work here probably know where it is, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, they had it in the system. He's like, oh, you got the last one. So Dick, I don't know if you could talk more about this album, but is this this is probably like a pretty sought after thing, if I can imagine. Oh, by the way, if anyone doesn't know, I'll put a little card up here. This kind of coincides with one of our more famous episodes that we made.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
The Smile.
Yes, you didn't like Smile, if I.
But yeah, never forget that.
Yes, but yeah,
never gonna live it down.
It was 2,000 copies pressed, and this was a documentary. Long Promise Road is a documentary about Brian Wilson, and I haven't seen the documentary yet because at one point it was a limited release, and then it was released, like the documentary itself. It was a limited release, and it wasn't released, and then I think you needed Apple or something weird. This a streaming service that I didn't have access to. Now I'm pretty sure it's everywhere, and I haven't seen it yet. But basically, the soundtrack to it. So some of the key factors on the album, Right Where I Belong, Brian Wilson and Jim James from My Morning Jacket.
Oh yes,
pretty good. There's a version of In My Room that he performs live from the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple things I'm not familiar with. I don't know if they're unreleased. I don't know if they've been released as like deep cuts on a box set or something before. Must Be a Miracle, Slightly American Music. I haven't heard that one. Honeycomb, Long Promise Road, I've heard. I'm Broke is the last track. 12 tracks on it, but I haven't heard it yet. So that's what really bugs me. It's like there's a couple things I have that I like. I wasn't intending to open this. Like I usually don't. Open it,
yeah.
You know.
You have it in your collection.
Right. Yeah. There's a blue one and there's a black one. Now, there's a couple releases that I have that are limited that have like one version of one song, and it's the only one that's ever been released, and it's on this release I have. And I think I opened one to hear something.
Oh, wow.
But now it's like, I kind of want to hear this, but I don't want to open it. Case in point. So I think we've talked about this in the show, but I think it was 80-something. It was the 25th anniversary of the Beach Boys, and Sunkissed Soda was like sponsoring the tour.
Oh yeah, you did talk about this. Yeah,
did I talk about that? Yeah, there's one song that's like never been heard before ever, and it's on that like giveaway record that I got. So it's sealed. It has a poster in it. I've never opened it. I don't think I've heard it. Now in this world of YouTube, you could probably dial it up, but
yeah, probably.
That'll be a good. That should be a good show, a good topic on one of the shows. You want to hear something? What do? Do you crack it open? Do you leave it? What is your? We'll have to talk about that further.
I would love to. You'd probably have a lot to say about that, because I mean, you take the collecting seriously. You know the music, but you're like, I want to have this pressing and just have it mint. You know, it's not even open or anything like that.
Right, and maybe there's something to be said for. Well, what am I really collecting it for? Then? Should I hear the music itself? Well, that's on? Damn it!
I mean, I think we all have our ways of looking at things like that. I mean, you appreciate the music, but you also appreciate the physical media that it's on. And we talked about this before, but I think records really encompass that. You have, the album art, the jacket, everything, and the color of the pressing itself. I mean, the vinyl itself. I think that's what makes records so damn cool is all of that ties into it. If you just digitally download something, you don't get any of that. It's just on your it's on your friggin' phone. But really, what I'm most curious about for this specific record that I picked up for you is the red the red tag on there, red. Which is weird because you said this was pressed in blue and one in black. Yeah, one in black, which I was hoping to get the black, but maybe because I remember I looked at the picture you sent me, and it's very clearly like what it was. It was like 12-inch whatever. Like it gave you like the rundown on it, and then it said right next to it red. So let me look at this picture again, because I could have sworn that back in the day, it would indicate that what the vinyl pressing itself was. Yeah. Let's see here. This is okay. We're getting to Saturday. Boy, you and I really go BTS
on this show.
We really do. We really do.
Speaking of a little BTS, thank you to all of our new subscribers.
Yeah. No, I should have brought that up in the very beginning, and I wanted to, and I forgot, so I apologize.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, seriously, there was a big viewer turnout. That was awesome. I was just watching the numbers go up, and I thought that was pretty cool. And Dixon, it really goes to show you that all your hard work really paid off. I think
that Bob Dylan series was a labor of love for both of us.
No, but you really can. I honestly had a lot of fun. I love even if it's something that I never was interested in prior. Like, I find that if someone's there that has a lot of information and is like passionate about it, I could get interested in it too, and that was really fun. I learned a lot about what's his name again? No, seriously, I learned a lot about Bob Dylan and everything, and I thought that was pretty cool. I think it'd be cool if we could do something like that again, like a several part series diving into whether it be an artist or a band or something, and going through it. But yeah, I think a lot of people appreciated it, and yeah, thanks again.
Sounds like it.
To all the new subs.
Absolutely. So yes, if you look at I pulled up the picture you sent me. It says, the title, price, the artist, and then LP-Red.
Yes.
So it could have been a misprint. Was it supposed to be an SRSD red? Could it have been? I mean, it's got the genre right on it. I mean, LP. I don't know. I'm not sure what that. Unless it's a code for something, I don't know.
I don't know either, because like they do, and I've seen a lot of records in this particular store printed like that, but someone has to enter this code in, and I think they get the code from the SKU, which comes from the manufacturer and all this stuff. So I can't see it being a misprint. That would really shock me. But and I actually searched it too. I was like, have any of these been printed in red? And I can't find a single thing that says it was printed in red. So that's I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see if you ever decide to open it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know if it came out in a compact disc version, but that's what I usually used to do. Is if it came out so there's actually a big box that just came out, Sale on Sale or Beach Boy 72.
Yeah,
and they have like 16 different, maybe not 16, but they have a couple different vinyl pressing versions. Then they have a CD version. So a lot of times, if there's something I want to hear, I'll buy the CD version if there's a CD, and I'll just play the CD. Granted, my vehicle no longer has a CD player in it.
Yeah, those are gone now, totally gone.
And I have a CD compact disc player at my parents' house, like one of those old dinosaur with the speakers and the tower and everything else.
Yep.
And so I've been looking for like a CD player. I don't need anything like this Bose stuff. Maybe you do when it comes to sound quality. But if you just get like something decent, and it's hard to find it,
Yeah, no, I think and I'm going to say this right now. I think we talked about this on one of our earlier episodes, but audiophiles are probably some of the most pretentious, annoying people on the face of the earth.
Definitely.
Dixon, if you mention Bose around them, they'd probably scoff in your face. Oh, Bose, they would think that's like
Bose ain't good.
Yeah, Bose, it's not good enough. That's like Walmart. That's like top tier Walmart brand. I guarantee it. If you start looking into this, first of all, you need a soundproof room, and your wall should be coated in concrete, and then you should have acoustic dampening over it, and then you could start working on your speakers. And it's like, if your speaker stacks aren't like tens of thousands of dollars a piece, then it doesn't even matter at that point.
Wasted.
But the way that I look at it is, if I could just hear the music, then it's fine. I'm not talking about it being out of like some junky speaker, but if it sounds decent enough, if someone could walk in my house and say, "Oh wow, hey, that's good music. Like, I like this. It sounds good." Yeah. I don't want someone coming in like, "Oh, how's the tonal frequency coming up? What's the frequency range?" Like, that's come on. No one could really tell the difference. Let's be honest.
You're absolutely right, 100%. Now, I was at a wedding. This past weekend, and the DJ had this set up. There was these really skinny, like I think it was a speaker that maybe like a woofer on the bottom, but it was two speakers, Bose with a small skinny tower, probably like 5 foot. And was on either side of the like they have the bride and groom had like a trellis thing, like I don't know, like a trellis, like if you were to walk under it. Like what do you
like
Meet the Parents when did you ever see that movie?
It's been such a long time though.
The thing catches on fire in the backyard, like
you mean like a scaffolding kind of thing, or
like
I don't
like a
know.
scaffolding, but less industrial. Yes, yeah, like it's like a trellis. I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Oh, I can't think of the name.
Like a quarter tunnel, like imagine a tunnel and you sliced like 5 inches,
okay,
and separate that and brought it and set it up behind them.
Okay, I think I'm getting it.
So they had it set up on either side of the trellis thing, and the one was right in my ear and so I'm like, the hell with this. I'm going to turn it down. So I went to the box and I turned it down, and there's 3 different volume knobs. So I turned like the one, and it sounded like it got quieter, and then all of a sudden it went back up. So the DJ was eyeballing me and noticed. I don't know if he can control it from there. So then I turned down the other 3, and they didn't move when I touched them. So I don't know, but it's like it was annoying already, and it was very clear though, crystal clear. Like that, a big venue, you could be in the bathroom, you heard it clearly, you know.
Wait, why were you adjusting the volume on this DJ speakers?
Because it was way too loud. It was in my ear. It was way too loud.
I could just picture you at someone else's wedding. I don't like this. This is a little too loud.
I did not.
I'm going to take over here.
I turned it down and then I turned it down another time.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
It happened to me before at another damn wedding where the speaker is like the DJ had him in opposite corners, and of course there's going to be a table in front of it. Who was at the table in front of the speaker? Like
it's
me.
You. Oh god,
that's son of a B.
That is the worst though when you're sitting right next to the friggin' speakers.
Yeah.
It's so friggin' loud. I hate that.
What invite me to your wedding if your speakers don't adjust? Is all I'm saying.
All right, when you come to, I'm like Dixon. He's the farthest table away from. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean the sound was fine. It was good, and even the setup my parents have, it's like that. Like I said, old like Pioneer. The sound is still good on it. It's not a bad sound. It sounds great, and we have a newer CD player. Paired with the speakers, going into the speakers, and you still have the adjustments. You're able to adjust everything, and it sounds fantastic. It sounds good. The disc player is a Sony, like it's a 5-disc changer, and it sounds great. And the speakers are, I don't know, 40, probably 50 years old, close to it now in reality. You know.
I'm sure they're awesome. And I mean, like, I don't know much about speaker technology, but I'm sure it was like really good for the time, because I feel like speakers you buy now, if you get like some off-brand kind of like cheaper one, they're probably not as good. I feel like they charge the same, but they just make it with, shitty components. But I think you get like a nice Pioneer or like Bose or something. I mean, that's more than good enough, I think.
Yeah. What else do you need? I mean, it's in reality. And then like every time I search for a speaker, now CD player. Oh, I know. I had my eye on a CD player from Walmart, and it was that ONN brand.
Oh, and, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, the reviews were halfway decent on it because I live in an apartment currently right now. I don't have a ton of room to be messing around. But if I can just get like a small table, put it on there, and like you have your Sunday morning breakfast, whatever it is, you put something on, you got it going. So I was gonna get the On, and for some reason I didn't buy it, and then I was at Ollie's, good stuff cheap.
Yep. All these good stuff cheap. Love it.
Yeah, and they had the On version refurbished. And I'm like, oh, perfect. If it's refurbished and it's whatever, $15, I'll get it. If it's not any good, it's no big deal. It's not a total loss. Whatever. I looked at the price, and I'm thinking, oh, that was weird. It was like $30. It was more expensive than what Walmart was selling it for.
Really? Even as refurbished? Yes. Wow.
As refurbished from Ollie's in that same ONN brand.
Jeez.
And I thought, this is kind of number one criminal, but once again, you're lying to me that this is good stuff cheap. This is actually more expensive.
Yeah.
So I didn't pick it up, and then I was at a Goodwill, and I got a Sony unit, but one that was from like a kitchen, like it was like it's supposed to go underneath a countertop.
Oh yeah,
underneath a cabinet.
Yeah, our younger viewers might not know what this is, but yeah, it's literally like a not even a ceiling mounted, but like an under cabinet mounted
Yes.
player. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I picked up one of those, and it sounded good in the store. And I don't know if I'll be ever. I definitely won't do it now, but it's decent back in the day, but I haven't tried it yet. So I'll let you know. And I think we were talking about this time last year if I was going to buy a CD player or not.
I think we were. I think we could probably go back and figure that out. Yeah, we've been doing this for a year now. Isn't that crazy?
Yes, it was. I think we had a year anniversary. It was our first show when this is something else we have to mention too. It was our first show. Yeah, everybody's talking about this moment when I canceled Peppermint Patty.
Oh my God! Yes, yes, yeah. This is that time last year. I think we had a Thanksgiving special. We had a Christmas special.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had a Thanksgiving special.
Yep.
And just to revisit this, it was the pure cancellation of Peppermint Patty was based on the fact that she invites herself over to Charlie Brown's for dinner, for Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes.
Right? Shows up. Snoopy, who I don't know if you're familiar with, he's a dog, right? Yeah. Everybody familiar with that?
I think I heard of that, yeah.
Snoopy makes a meal consisting of what you would expect children to eat if children were supposed to look after themselves and a dog was in the kitchen. There was toast, there was popcorn, looked like there was some sort of candies.
Yeah.
And Peppermint Patty complains.
Yeah.
After she invited herself.
She, you know what, I'm going to say it right now, she is a bitch. Let's be honest. Yeah, I'm looking at it right. He's got toast, jelly beans, popcorn.
And it was just such a sickening moment. I watched it last week with my family, and I'm like, God, I can't stand this Peppermint Patty.
just to get enraged again, just to
yeah, it was just awful. I'm like, oh my goodness, what a scenario.
That is ridiculous. I heard they're not playing the Christmas special now. Is that true? I heard they're not doing that anymore. It's just the Thanksgiving special they're playing.
Because I know it's moved to Apple TV Plus.
Oh, maybe that's why. Yeah.
But somehow you can get it for free if you're not a member, but for certain days of the month. But in reality, I went on and I created an account for free for the free trial, and then I didn't renew it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
not renew it.
Well, that's the big thing. A lot of people get them and they don't cancel it. That's the problem. And then they have your credit card, and then you're getting charged for a whole year. Yeah.
And then but I think that'll be it. So if my free trial is good for 3 months, I turned renewal off. Yeah. And then in theory, I probably would lack some functionality on the platform. But this time next year, I could probably watch the Peanuts Christmas for free.
Oh, good.
So now we're prepared, and then we'll still continue. That's cancel Peppermint Patty.
Yeah, that's a classic. Next year, this time we're gonna have to do the third annual canceling of Peppermint Patty.
Peppermint Patty has no place in this society.
Absolutely.
If you think otherwise, you're totally skewed.
No place in this society. She really doesn't, you know. Oh man,
the whole thing's a shame. The poor bastard tried his best.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
So, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want to. Speaking of no place in this society,
yes.
The Jews, as Kanye would say, have no place in this society.
Gosh.
Now this is the big news, and I figure we talk about this because it does relate to music in a way, because Kanye West, probably one of the, I mean, depending on how you want to look at him, you could say greatest, you could say the best, but there's no denying that he is one of the most successful, I would say, rap artists, hip hop artists of this generation. I don't think 100%. There's any, there's no disagreeing with that. I loved a lot of his songs, and back when I was a teenager, listened to his music in high school, I realized that a lot of my favorite songs came from his album Graduation. That was I listened to that stuff I roll around in my friggin' Mazda 6 and just blast that. And I loved it.
That was good.
But if you went back in time and told me that in 20 years or so Kanye was going to be saying that Nazis are good, then I don't know if I believe you.
And it's so shocking to that like you said, from Graduation, where it was kind of like, it was just like you never anticipated a malicious intent
No.
from somebody, And then Kanye West obviously has some issues. Obviously,
Sure.
Regardless of what he thinks, he's obviously a creative genius.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, absolutely.
constantly evolved, constantly has pushed the envelope, constantly did things, saw things from a different perspective. But now it's I don't even know how to describe it. It's sickening, it's disgusting. And there's part of me part of you that I think wants to say, okay, Kanye has a lot of issues. There's also people with a lot of issues out there who don't celebrate Hitler.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that was one of the things some people brought up. They're like, well, you can have mental instability, but it doesn't cause you to to be like a Nazi sympathizer or like a Hitler sympathizer.
Right. And when Alex Jones says, are you sure about this?
Yeah, when Alex Jones is getting nervous, he's like, well, I don't know about this. I don't know, Kanye, but...
Oh my God, that's a spot on Alex Jones. That's such a good impression. That's such a good Alex Jones. Yeah, but he's still questioning the whole damn thing. It's like, all right, something's wrong here,
Yes. Yeah. It was, oh my God, but there's so many like unintentionally hilarious points in that interview, and for everyone who doesn't know, we're talking about the Alex Jones Kanye West interview that they did on InfoWars. But I mean, there's points where he's just like, well, CNN calls white people Nazis, and that's just how they are. And then Kanye's just like, well, I'm a Nazi. What now? And now the whole guise of this thing is that, okay, let's put some context to it, Dixon, because he wasn't, well, I'm not trying to make an excuse for him, but he was saying that he loves everyone. That was the thing.
Okay.
But he overstepped he kind of overstepped his bounds by really diving into the Nazi stuff.
Right.
He would say things like, "Oh, well, I love the Zionists and I love Jews, but Hitler, he's one of he's my favorite German. He probably is the best one, actually, out of all of it." But Dixon, he's enraged, right? So he's like, yeah, I love everyone, and like, oh, peace and love, and peace and love and all this. But then he would like call out people that have dissed him before. He'd be like, oh yeah, I love everyone. What do you think of that? What the F do you think of that? So and so, come at me now. What do you? And then he would just go back to like being calm. And it was.
I did see that. Yeah, I did see some of that.
Yeah, it was extremely bizarre to see to see him having a mental breakdown kind of like that. And
oof.
I don't know. I mean, what do you make of all this? Do you think he's actually a?
Oh man.
Do you think I don't. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to deny that he is like a Nazi at this point. I mean, I don't know.
It is. Initially I thought there's got to be something here, because InfoWars is InfoWars, and they do their thing. And Alex Jones said basically, it's while saying disgusting things and reprehensible things, he's also saying, oh, this is an act, this is parody, whatever it is. That's one of the things. But who knows? But I thought for a minute, like, is this really Kanye? Is this really Ye? Is this really him with that mask on? Like, because it's like that's that Balenciaga, the one designer. That's what they have, that full face mask thing that they're Kim K wore to the one thing and all this kind of stuff.
It was really weird.
Thinking, it is weird. It's very strange. I'm thinking, okay, wait, is this really Kanye? And then for Kanye to just keep going with this stuff, and I think what's interesting to me is that is there nobody kind of like keeping him in check, like nobody kind of saying, are you sure about this? Is there, and of course Kanye does what he wants to do, like it doesn't matter what you're going to say to him. But then he's like palling around. He's driving around with Nick Fuentes from from the young American whatever, white national thing. Milo Yiannopoulos, who I think was incorrectly canceled. I will say he was incorrectly canceled.
And then he went off the deep end and became like an evangelical Christian, and now he's like found God and everything like that. But
I think that Milo was definitely reprehensible and disgusting as well. But the reason why they canceled him was like he was abused, and he was kind of defending abuse, is what they kind of interpreted it as. I don't know. It was kind of a weird gray. I don't know. Whatever. But
right
at this point, you can't deny that Kanye is, I think hateful. I think he's a hateful man. I don't know. It seems like.
I know. I think he's been spited. You know, I think a lot of people, like, I don't think he likes to get called out. I think the whole him and Kim breaking up, I think that really hurt him. And I think that caused this downward spiral. And then he just started getting more and more hateful. And I think that fuels his whole rant against Jewish people. And he sees it as, well, you know, there's a lot of Jewish people in power, and you know, they've been screwing me out of my record deals and things like that, and that's why I am going to go after them now, and they can't control me because, you know, it's I mean, now when there's a lot of people of a certain race or ethnicity or religion in power at like a disproportionate amount, you could ask questions about that, but it's not because they're evil. It's just that it just so happens, like, whether it be societal, you know, I don't want to say not pressures or influences or whatever. But what I'm trying to say is it just so happens to have ended up that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you could look at the NFL, like it's mostly African Americans, or like baseball, probably predominantly white or something like that. And then you could ask questions. Okay, well, why is that? But at the end of the day, it's not that. It's not because of the race. yes. It's not what Kanye thinks, in the fact that, like, Jewish people are trying to get into power to hurt me. It's just that they just so happen to be in the record business, and the record business is shitty, and that's just all it is. It's not, it has nothing to do with them. Yeah, it has nothing to do with them being Jewish. It just has to do with them being in the record business, and the record business is shitty, and it screws over artists sometimes. Like, that's just all it is. It's not.
Look at Taylor Swift. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, Kanye. That's your girl.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she came out on top on this one, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. That's the truth. I mean, God, like, you know, my whole thing is, and I think the problem with this whole thing is that I don't think you shouldn't. And I guess that's why, you know, cancel culture. It's a cancel culture, which people say exists, and what some people say doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I understand the idea of not giving someone a platform to continue. Yeah. And Kanye is someone I don't think should have a platform to continue, because I think he's at the very least misguided, you know, at the very least, and also borderline hate speech. Not even borderline, going into hate speech at times, and could be interpreted as inciting violence, I think, to the right people, because, you know, it's a different world in this day and age.
Exactly.
People consume and what they take literally, and those kinds of things, what they view as a call to action. So that Alex Jones thing, I get where he's coming from. That's because Alex Jones, that's what he does. He's outrageous. He wants to you know, put stuff in your face, but I think it was completely inappropriate, and I think we should just be done with Kanye. I really hate to say it, but I think we should.
I know. I think so too. It's gone past the point of him just asking, you know, what they call the Jewish question, saying, okay, why are Jews in power? It's gone past that to, you're right, like calls to action, like him essentially saying we have to do something about this, and it's inciting some small groups of people to be more emboldened to do hateful things against Jewish people. And, you know, there's already been some videos around of like people who support Kanye. They're doing protests now in the streets, and I think some people in the NBA are starting to talk out about this and like going against Jewish people. And like I said, he has a lot of power, and I think he's just emboldening this whole thing. And then you double that with Nick Fuentes being on there, because Nick Fuentes is he's like a Nazi, but he won't say the Nazi part out loud. So like Kanye will say something, and then Nick Fuentes will come back and be like, well, let me try to explain what he's trying to say. And he'll try to explain in a very eloquent way that just makes you just enough to just start, you know, maybe Nick and maybe they do have a good point. Maybe I should start like looking into this. And it was like a perfect combination of him saying like off the wall shit, Nick to kind of like bring it back down and say, well, you know, Kanye does have a point on this side. And it was, it's the perfect storm. But yeah, the funniest thing to come out of that was just Alex Jones just being nervous the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Like I said, when Alex Jones is onto something and he's worried about it, it's like, oh boy, you really effed up.
Yeah,
and
it was.
It just, but that Fuentes and Kanye and Alex Jones, what a clown show. You know, like where the hell are these people going? You know, it's like it's just amazing, and I wonder where, you know, Kanye obviously. I'm certainly not a psychiatrist or even a psychologist, but obviously was very well managed through the years, whether it be, you know, pharmaceuticals, whether it be therapy, whatever it is. And somehow there's a disconnect there. And I hope he, you know, comes back down to earth. Yeah. And says, no, forget it. I didn't mean any of this. I was completely misguided. I was wrong, you know?
Yeah, I hope so too. Now let's, I guess to sum it all up, do you think he has a redemption arc after this? Now, no, and the way that I would answer that is I would say if Kanye, I don't even know if you can come back from this because you're in this day and age. I don't know. The best way that I could see is him saying, you know, I was off my rocker. I should have been taking my meds. I did have a health issue, and I was upset about Kim and Pete Davidson and all that. And
yes, Pete Davidson. I forgot about that.
I think that Pete really, I think, got under his skin, honestly. Yeah, but I think with all that, he could say, you know, I was getting jealous about that, and I was getting angry about my kids, and I just got really angry. I went after the people that I thought were coming down on me and hurting me. But now, you know, I'm on my meds now. I'm doing better. I'm fine now, or whatever. Do you think he could come back in that way?
You know, I understand it, and mental illness definitely has an impact. You know, we see it with crimes, we see it with society, all those things. But I don't think it justifies anything. I just don't think it justifies it. You know, people still go to jail when they're with a quote insanity plea. You know, whatever. You know, I mean, or they go to something.
But they're not saying Hitler was a good guy to millions of people.
It's still something else. So it's like, I don't know. I just don't see. I just don't know how you come back from it when you write off a whole group of people, and if you have to reverse this, you know, with anti-Semitism, how it's always been, you know, present, and it's always been more subtle than I think other forms of racism.
Yeah.
Know? I remember on Twitter it was a thing with the Twitter or 4chan how they would put the parentheses around somebody's name that was Jewish.
Yeah, it was like 3 parentheses or something.
Yeah, like that and stuff.
Yep.
I just don't know. I just don't know. It's really, really a tough thing. Really sad to see it, but I'm really more sad that Kanye is being so hateful and so flippant with these ideologies and these terrible things.
Yeah, that we definitely do not ascribe to here on this show, for sure.
100%. Never do it. And it's like I said, it's a shame because he's a very talented artist. I don't know what the redemption looks like, if there's any redemption, but I think we should just kind of be done with Kanye and move on.
Yeah, I agree. I just to end on a good note, I think one of the funny things is they talked about this, but did you hear that they had a dinner, like Trump, Kanye, and Nick Fuentes had a dinner together?
Yeah, I did hear that. Yes. Yeah.
So apparently, at one point, Kanye was playing like one of his like lesser known songs, and Kanye's like, "Oh, Trump, listen to my music," and Trump's just sitting there. And then at the end, he's like, "Well, how about we listen to one of your hits?" He just like he wasn't feeling. He's like, "Well, I don't know about this. How about we listen to one of your hits?"
Oh, gosh.
I just picture them sitting there in silence, listening for 5 minutes straight. Just
listen to something by.
Kanye puts his phone on the table. He cranks it up. He's like, okay, listen to this.
that is really funny. And I blame that Kanye too. And Trump put this out on Truth Social. Kanye, Trump. Now you know how Trump is Trump, and who the hell knows if he's really telling the truth. But he's like, Kanye wanted to have dinner with me. And I'm like, yeah, sounds good. I wanted to help the guy. I wanted to give him some guidance. And he shows up with Milo and Nick Fuentes. Like,
yeah, I know.
What an asshole.
I know.
It's just
the goon squad now. There's like a bunch of goons. It really shows a fall from grace when you have someone as powerful as Kanye hanging out with Nick Fuentes and Milo. Whether or not Milo got canceled or whatever, but like he's kind of washed up now, and he's kind of seems kind of nuts too. But
yeah, absolutely. He was definitely always nuts. And the thing is there was a video floating around. I think I sent it to you of Fuentes and Kanye. They're just riding coach, and they have they have like any luggage anywhere. Like I don't even know where the hell they're going. Maybe they just flew for that interview and it was it.
Yeah,
but definitely interesting.
Super interesting. Nick Fuentes has been wearing that Kanye approved hoodie for like 5 days now straight.
Yeah.
That freaking blue Adidas hoodie.
Yeah. And the other thing I heard too, it'll be interesting to see what happens after this. But I heard that Adidas was going to make Yeezys without making them Yeezys. Like they were going to take Kanye's name off of them, but they were still going to make the designs because they own the designs or something, or there's something there.
Yep.
And which goes to show you that nobody, I guess, if it makes you money, nobody really cares what anybody says.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, well, we'll just shed the name. We could still sell this. It's like, right. I don't know.
But so that'll be interesting to see if that impacts it. But Kanye, get the help you need.
Seriously,
in your heart that you don't want to be a hateful person. Don't be hateful.
Yeah,
whatever happened to Jesus is King? Whatever happened to all that? Remember, he had the listening party and a church service on Sunday. What happened to that?
That's what he says. Well, the whole time he just said, "Well, Jesus is King. He's my God. Let me do this prayer." He goes on with like a 10-minute uninterrupted prayer. It's like, wow, he's doing all this under the guise of like, he's a Christian and Jesus is king and everything, but then it's very clear to anyone who's watching is that he is just unstable and very angry. That's just the basis of it. But yeah, he still allegedly believes that. So I don't know.
In the words of Morgan Wallen, I don't think Jesus done it that way.
Well, yeah. So. Yeah, I would agree. I think Jesus would agree too.
Yeah, I don't think Jesus is signed up for that. So Kanye, clean it up and get over this. And
for God's sakes.
You hope he really doesn't believe what he's saying. You hope it's an act. At the very best.
I think. I don't know. I want to say that it is an act, but at this point, it's hard to say that it's just an act. Yeah.
Well, Kanye.
Yep. Hey, Kanye, come on the show. You know what? Kanye's crazy enough that he would come on this show.
Yeah, he would. 100%.
I'm not even joking about that. He probably would.
100%. That's great. That's great.
Oh, man. I'd love it.
Kanye, if you want to clear the air, if you really want to say how you feel free.
Yeah, maybe we got you wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows?
Oh, boy. Well, yeah, that was... Well, hey, thanks again to all the new subs. That was pretty huge. Half thousand views on the last video. We're really moving up. It's really exponential. Yeah. So, big congratulations to us. Yeah.
Yeah, glad you guys enjoyed it. I noticed a slight error in one of the titles of our Bob Dylan series.
Oh no! Tech team's gonna get torn a new asshole right now. What?
Bob Dylan's name was spelled wrong.
Wait, what? Really?
There's a misplaced Y or an L on Bob Dylan.
Oh God!
Which could explain the slow traction we've been having on that video.
Oh God! All right. Oh yeah, I see it. Okay, yeah, you're right.
I've been looking at the channel and watched those videos for weeks. I never picked up on.
I really got to get on the tech team's ass for this.
One man tech team. It also happens to be. Everybody, give a shout out right now. It's Ice.
Wow. For the moment. Thanks, guys. I literally fixed it. We're doing live editing right now. I just fixed the title, so we're good.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of live, check out our midterm election special. Almost everything we talked about didn't come true.
Yeah, totally missed on it. Whiffed on every single prediction.
Totally missed on every single prediction that we made.
I had a blast doing that, though. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was good.
That was good.
Good seeing real live results coming in. Might even be worth mentioning. We'll have to track this maybe for next episode. But we talked about Luzerne County in Pennsylvania, and then Maricopa County in Pennsylvania. Both issues certifying their elections, from what I've read. So I don't know.
Still,
from what I understand, yeah, as of last week, I saw something from both. There was either an issue or that one of the county. I have to look it up. I forget what county didn't certify yet, or maybe is certified by now. But we talked about those counties. I said this is an interesting dynamic here, and sure enough, there were some issues certifying the results. So who knows?
Yeah, we'll have to look into that. Maybe maybe we'll get boots on the ground there. We'll have to check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
But yeah.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for battling that virus, that flu, whatever it might be.
We don't know.
You hope you're back in action further more than you already are soon.
Well, I appreciate it. But yeah, guys, we'll see you next week, the next episode.
Peace.
Peace.